All right, so this is the second edition of me and Cypher's new podcast. I'm BLiTz5, and we have Andrew, who is Sypher5, on the Skype call. Say what's up, Andrew.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? So we don't have a name for the podcast yet. We talked about some names before, but we haven't decided on one yet. So we'll just stick to BLiTz5 and Sypher5, the 5cast for right now. And if you guys didn't hear our first podcast, we posted that last week. Right now, it's on YouTube and also on Podbean. We need to post a couple more podcasts before we want to get on iTunes and all that stuff, but we will work on doing all that stuff. Every time we post a podcast, we'll just start expanding on all that stuff and making it a little bit better, improving all that stuff, and so on and so forth. So with that, I guess we'll get started. We have some interesting news for PUBG and for Blackout. More of this stuff is for PUBG for right now. And just so you guys know, as we record this podcast, just to date it, I do this with the live stream as well. Today is November 13th, 2018. It's Tuesday. And today we got confirmation that PS4 is getting PUBG. This is exact confirmation. It's coming out on December 7th. And I say confirmation because there was a big rumor that this was coming, but now we finally know because there was an official announcement. And so what do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess Sony actually posted it earlier today. And is December 7th the exact year that it came out on Xbox, or is it just shy of that?
Yeah, it's just shy of that because I looked it up because I think I mentioned this a couple of times, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm just shocked. They might have had one, but I have to believe that Xbox and PUBG had some kind of deal together because the game is like published by Microsoft. It's not published, like it's in partnership with Microsoft when they publish it on Xbox. It's not just being published solely by Bluehole. And they've had a really big partnership over the past year. So I have to imagine that they signed some kind of exclusivity content or contract for like a year. So I thought that maybe they would have to wait till after 1 year because it came out last year on December 12th, which I looked up. I forget what day of the week that was. I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday. So I thought it would come out around December 13th this year, but I guess it's coming out on December 7th, which is a Friday. So it's only a week difference, but I was just surprised.
Days.
Yeah, I was just surprised to see that.
So the contract probably was around 360 days or something weird like that.
Well, who knows?
Some weird thing.
Maybe they didn't even have a contract, but
yeah, that's definitely possible too. I mean, who knows? But I think it's a good thing that Sony is picking it up, at least for the gaming community. The problem is like, I'm hoping that Bluehole has the support system to support all these, systems now. They're not just PC, Xbox, and now they have PS4. I don't really know how the OS works on like Sony, but I mean it can't be exactly the same as Xbox. It's definitely not the same as PC. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to worry that like, are these guys capable of supporting the system? And another thing is that maybe they are, and if they are, I'm really hoping that this is kind of cruel, but I hope that Sony has similar issues to Xbox. I really would be upset if they somehow created a game, launched it on PC, had a ton of issues, then launched it on Xbox, ton of issues, and then it comes out on PS4 of all things and just like it runs smooth and all. That would be so mind-blowing because Xbox's operating system is so closely related to a computer now that I don't really know how they would, it would kind of be unbelievable to me. It would be upsetting to me. It would be straight up upsetting.
Yeah, I normally wouldn't root for like the failure of something. I'm always pretty positive, and I don't get mad about silly things like, if it was better on PlayStation normally, but in this case, because I create content for PUBG, I've been playing the game so much that if it works better on PlayStation, just like you said, after all the issues that we've dealt with, really, I would just be shocked. Like, I'd be pretty frustrated, I think, if that happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I think like the huge part is that like, a lot of us were also people that like bought into the game like when it first came out, like when it was still in the beta or whatever they want to call it, and it was just, you getting kicked out, dropped, your Xbox would freeze, you have to reboot, you get, all those issues, and we pretty much like everyone on Xbox was just like this trial run that made this game possible to even run on a console. And I think like that's the hard part to digest, that like we dealt through like all the times that this, all those like being in the final circle and you would just be like kicked out of the game and your game would crash and trying to get back in. So.
Yeah, and even though the game was in game preview, some of that stuff was like pretty unacceptable for a game that you paid money for and is only online.
Yeah.
And we pretty much dealt with
100%.
yeah. We pretty much dealt with all that stuff. And also it's kind of shocking that the game is coming out like 1.0 right away. There's like no game preview. I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but I'm just kind of surprised because they kind of leapfrog so far ahead with Sony. Going back to what you were saying before, like I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? That something about the release date of it and how it's in like perfect condition. I don't even know. I
just said it's a 1.0. Like they don't even have to run it. They're not even like doing a trial run on Sony. Like they're not doing a preview like they did on Xbox. They're just like, hey, here's the game. Like it's done. You know, I guess.
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, but what I was gonna say is going back to like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I was kind of thinking about it. I guess if you're like a diehard, because you kind of talked about it briefly. I guess if you're a diehard Xbox fan, you might think of it as kind of a bad thing because Xbox was almost using this as like an exclusive title to bring, maybe more gamers to the Xbox platform. But I think as a fan of just gaming in general, I think it's better to have more platforms. You know what I mean? And if you look at games like Fortnite, like that game became so successful because it was free and it's on every single platform available and there's crossplay across every system. Yeah. So at least for me, even from like a YouTube perspective and streaming perspective, there's more people playing than there might be more people watching and, digesting content and watching streams. So for me, this coming to PlayStation is huge, really. And I guess the big question is, and, people were already texting me or like tweeting at me about this is like, is there going to be crossplay on this and with PlayStation like Fortnite? And, obviously Sony is normally not about crossplay, but Fortnite kind of crossed that boundary and was one of the first games to have that. And I think Rocket League does too. So I really feel like for PUBG to survive as a really big title, like a top 10 title in the video game world, like they're going to need to link PS4 and Xbox.
And I mean, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that's like definitely something that's going to happen. Like I am also a huge hardcore Xbox person. Like I haven't had a PlayStation since before I owned Xbox. Like this was like 10, 12 years ago now. And like PlayStation has great like one player games and all that stuff. I just, but that's just not how I play anymore.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for the gaming community, it's definitely good. And I'm hoping that Bluehole had the insight to kind of say, hey, this game is super popular, it's big on PC. It's one of the top 10 watch streaming games, like, like as of recently too, like even at like currently. And it's still, there is a possibility that they could have leveraged that saying, hey, we are streamed all over. These are great games to watch. Everyone loves watching it. Like, let us do cross-platform. Like, we will put this won't only be an Xbox game. Like, we will put this on PlayStation 4 and like, in a couple months down the road, once it's hammered out, we've hammered out more of the bugs or whatever, like we could make this cross-platform. I'm hoping that Brendan Green in all of his glory will do in Bluehole. I think it's more of thought about that and said like, we need to do what Fortnite's doing. Otherwise we will not survive in the same light, and I think I'm hoping they did that, but it's kind of a long shot. It's a pipe dream in my opinion too.
Yeah, for sure. And people are already saying like on the stream, like, dude, if this comes out better on PlayStation, it's going to be just so frustrating. Like it's really going to be interesting to see when it comes out, what happens here. And they've already been giving it a lot of press. Like Brandon Green, I just saw tweeted out while I was eating dinner that like he's like super, super excited that it's going to be on PlayStation. And I mean, I agree. I mean, it's definitely exciting, but I hope there's not like going to be some kind of like favoritism. I don't know why. I don't know why people are getting the sense of that. And so am I, that like they're going to drop like Xbox and be like favorites with PlayStation. It just has that kind of vibe. I don't know why. It just kind of seems like that. And also going back to what you said before, how it's a different operating system and stuff like that. It seems like for the most part, they do a pretty good job porting games to PlayStation, and usually PC is the issue when they're dealing with like Call of Duty and other multiplayer games like that. But it'll be interesting to see what they did, because this was Bluehole Corporation's first console game. So I really wonder, like I said, I don't know that much about coding and development either, like you said, but it'd be really interesting to see like if they did a completely new team to develop this on PlayStation, or if they like outsourced to other people, or like how that happened, or the same team developed this on PlayStation while they were working on this. I mean, there's got to be a lot of work going on at this company right now, even though people kind of knock PUBG for like delaying updates and everything kind of being a cluster F. But there's got to be a lot of stuff going on right now at their company, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, like just because, like, I guess Brendan Green, I'm feeling the same way. I'm like, I hope there's no favoritism, and I feel like there is. But at the same time, it's like, hey, this is his Bluehole's not his company, but this is his game, and he has to market it every way he can.
Yeah.
Understandable. It's like kind of like over the summer how they did do the Xbox, like the PUBG van, remember? And they did do a lot of marketing with them, and I'm hoping that maybe the way they do this is that like Xbox will have exclusives like Call of Duty. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, even if they release at the same time, I'm fine with that. I don't really care. But as long as Xbox not the second, like, you know, the redheaded stepchild of this, this game, that would really upset me, because it's like the Xbox people are the ones that made this game probably possible on PS4.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's a good point. I mean, they're already doing some of the exclusive content. There's going to be the backpack, and like there's going to be a cosmetic backpack on PlayStation that's from The Last of Us, and there's the character from Uncharted that you can get. And I'm fine with that. If there's exclusive content, that's fine. Like if they eventually do something like Halo themed, or something, I'm just thinking something Xbox style, that's fine. But you're right, as long as everything comes out at the same time and it's not like PlayStation is getting the winter map ahead of time, that would just be so frustrating after supporting the game for a whole year. That would be pretty annoying.
It would be such a, like, even if I understand, even if Sony was paying PUBG like that amount of money, I would still be frustrated. I'd be like, yo, that's just so unloyal to the gaming community. Like that helped you. And like, I always kind of like think about those people that are like, oh, like gaming community. It's like such a weird thought, but then now when this is happening, I'm like, this better not fucking happen.
Dude,
like, you know what I mean?
Like, you know what? I kind of feel the same way. I'm always like, dude, why do you care? But because PUBG is a game, like you don't have to support Call of Duty. It's going to support itself, you know? But because PUBG wasn't game preview, we basically like GoFunded PUBG. Really?
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? We like kickstarted the game for console. So it's kind of different because you have more of like a investment in it, you know?
Yeah. 100%. And
So,
I think like, I'm gonna tweet at Brendan Green right now and be like, you better not betray us, boy. But like, it's just one of those things. Like, I guess, you know, the operating systems may be different, but I'm sure the way that the consoles are designed are pretty similar. Like, as in hardware specs, there's probably some differences because there just is, but there's probably a lot of similarities. Supporting game console to console probably isn't that hard because there's so many companies that are doing it. There's probably easier ways to do it, but easier ways to do it than from PC to an Xbox. So I mean, that's why I think like, hey, they're able to do this on Sony because Xbox people jumped on it, and maybe it's because Xbox was willing to do a game preview for it. You know what I mean? Like, Xbox was like, hey, yeah, we'll let you do a game preview and test it out, and we'll give you the resources or the fans and stuff like that. But you know,
you know what? That's probably what they did. That makes sense. They're probably more willing to do a game preview than PlayStation. I mean, who knows? Who will know unless they ever come out with the information? But that totally makes sense. Yeah,
and I mean, I know, like sometimes Microsoft used to do like if you're an exclusive game on Xbox, they will let you use like the Windows servers, like the Azure servers, which are powerful. But I don't know if that's
interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the that's probably not the case. I think Bluehole, from what I read, because I know server stuff from working on that, they used like some other company, and there's a big European company I think they use in Europe, and then I'm not sure what they use here, but they definitely use someone similar. It's a big company in Europe though that's like specializes in video game servers. Because I don't think like these virtual servers is what people talk about like are capable of handling like this game. I think they're pretty dedicated big servers that they're using. It's kind of like, so how much it crashes, like it has to be something that's a connectivity or, I remember, what was it, the memory issue a lot with Xbox, you know what I mean? Like, so the servers are definitely, having probably some memory issues like that as well, but I really have no idea on that end.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I think that Microsoft had to have been willing to put that down, you know what I mean? Be like, hey, like, we'll let you do this. And Sony was probably like, hey, we can't risk doing this. Microsoft has way more money than Sony does, and way more.
Yeah.
Of course. They could just take risk like that. So. Yeah,
of course. And before we like move on, because there's some other stuff we want to talk about too. We're probably going to be talking about a lot of PUBG stuff. I wanted to ask you about a couple things with PUBG, because first we have like the new survival crates. I don't know how much you've played in the past like week since these were put into the game, because I haven't played with you recently, and also because PlayStation is getting this backpack cosmetics. That means that stuff is definitely going to be coming to Xbox soon too. You know, I'm sure there's going to be more cosmetics. I think there's a new helmet cosmetic in the game, and PC already has that, but there's definitely going to be new cosmetics coming to helmets and to backpacks, and I'm guessing maybe even vests and stuff like that. So first of all, yeah. So what do you think about that? First of all, like the game is pretty much set now. So what do you think they're going to do? Just keep adding cosmetics and eventually more maps and just keep building on that? And do you think that's going to be good or bad that they're doing all that stuff? And I guess in survival crates is in the same boat, so same thing.
Is the survival crate now is like the one where you have the flare gun and you shoot in the sky, right?
No, I'm talking about like when you log in, there's like those missions now. You have like the daily missions, and then you get a crate and you can get BP or you can get like an item or something like that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm so dumb. I haven't opened any, to be completely honest. I know I was playing with like Day or something. He's like opening them up, and I'm just like, I sit there with like my thumb in my butt, and I'm just like, oh, I should open these, and then we're going in a game. But I do know, like, I think it's a good idea. There definitely needs to be incentives.
Have you looked at any of them, like the dailies and the weekly missions?
But I've heard people the daily missions I've been checking off some of them. Okay. But I've heard people opening the crates and just getting more BP or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, I guess there's a bunch of new gear. There's like racing gear for like, there's like Erangel racing gear and Sinnoh racing gear, I think, or Miramar. I don't know what it is. There's a bunch of new stuff and there's bandanas, like handkerchiefs, I guess, that people get, that these are like new as of the survivor crates.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think there needs to be some different incentives into the game for that. You know, if it was just a battle royale all the time, as much as I love it, I think it would kind of lose some of its steam from people that do like to have like those little like accomplishments, like you and Matt. Like Matt seems to love, like he's like, I gotta do this. You know what I mean? Blow up 4 more vehicles. You know,
he was really into the event pass. He was pretty much ahead of me the whole time with the event pass.
Yeah, he was playing solos just to like get those things, you know, and I'm not like that, but I know people are.
Yeah, I'm probably in the middle with that. Like sometimes I get real into it, but then when it first started, I didn't even care. I'm like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, see, I'm dumb. I'm in the low end of that. Like I should just try to take advantage of it because I do probably half of them, or I could do. I just sit in a bush in the game, so like I'm not gonna blow up that car. That's gonna get me killed.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, you really have to risk it for that biscuit to get those crates and stuff like that.
For real. Yeah, for 100%.
Yeah.
As for like the game being done, and then I'm hoping that that's just what they do. They just keep continuing to add content. I mean, I hope it's gonna be better map selection type of thing, and I think they definitely tuned the map selection. I've noticed that I'm getting Erangel a little bit more. It seems a little more balanced because there's a period of time where it's always Miramar. Now when you put in Battle Royale, I feel like it's a little bit more balanced or biased towards Erangel, which is good. I like that. Miramar is a huge map. It's tough. Maybe other people feel differently, but for me, it's good. And I think having new maps, like, I think that you have to have the new maps eventually. Like, it's just, for me, I think I need to see something different. I want to see that they're like still like creating these things, because if you're just releasing skins, like that's pretty easy. You know what I mean? Like that's easy to just like make a jacket. Like I paid $30, and if they want me to pay more money in the future, like give me something good. Like I'm not buying a Harley Quinn $25 skin to look like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point to bring up those skins. Yeah, they're cool, but they're not worth. None of the skins are worth the money, and those specifically are really expensive.
But I would pay $20 for a new map if that's what they want to do. If they said, hey, we're releasing a snow map or this new map in a couple months, it's this, and you get some skins with it, like it's this little package, and you get a special challenge pass, dude, $20, no problem.
The only issue though is you don't want to split up the player base. Like one of your friends has the map and one of them doesn't.
Yeah, and that's also an issue. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. You'd rather throw money at that than like.
Yeah. But also, like, I'm not a skins person, but I mean, I can see that. But making it $25 skins, like, I'm hoping that they make them, achievement based skins, and you can buy like gun skins and like cool uniforms you can win. Like the Halo one, if they had a Halo one, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably pay $20 for it though.
Yeah.
No lie, bro. I'd probably put down at least $20. I'd be like, you know what? Like if it was Donut from Red versus Blue, and you're just a pink Master Chief, done. Dude, I'd probably do it.
Or imagine if they had some kind of thing where like you had the shoes and some of like the pants and the shirt. But then once you got the vest and the helmet and everything, like you were full on Master Chief. Like the helmet
That
skin,
would be cool.
like the level 3 helmet skin was the Master Chief skin or something. That would be
that would be
cool.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be hilarious too.
A lot of Xbox people would love that stuff. But I'm kind of the same way. I'm in the middle with skins, man. Like I don't think I would have bought the clown skin if I wasn't doing YouTube and streaming. But I do occasionally, like on League of Legends, I bought a couple skins, but that's more like character based, and you really like your character, and then you buy it and you play it over and over again. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like I like the event pass, to be honest with you. I thought the first event pass was fun because it was $10. You knew you were kind of supporting the game. You only spent $30 so far. All this stuff. So I like that. And some of the skins were pretty cool. And there was a lot of stuff. I mean, there was weeks and weeks of content in there. And I don't know, the value of the cosmetics was way better than a $20 clown skin. I mean, you got like multiple outfits for $10, which I get it. It's cosmetics. Like you're paying for it. Like people hate that stuff, but to me, compared to the other prices and deals you get in like Call of Duty and other games, like the event pass was actually the price of that was okay to me, in my opinion. And there's actually a new event pass coming out. They kind of they gave out that information for the pre-order bundle. There's no information on it yet, but they're calling the next map Vikendi. It was originally named like Dihor Otak, and that's the winter map. So they're calling it the Survival Pass Vikendi. So I have no idea what's going on with that, but that's in one of the bundles. You can buy a bundle on PlayStation which gives you access to that pass, and it costs money because the base game does not come with the pass. So you have to buy like the $60 version to get G coin and the pass. So it's, I'm assuming, I think it's a pretty good assumption that it's going to cost $10 again, probably on console and PC. So like, do you think you'll get the event pass again if they do that for December, or what would you do?
I think I would do it. I didn't finish the other one, but I did a lot of it. And I think it's just kind of fun to like try to beat your friends and stuff like that. And I should do it. I think now, like in December, I'll have a lot more time to focus on those things. But I think like the event pass was like a good idea. Cause like I said, like how Matt played it, like people like that stuff. It's simple. You know what I mean? It's super simple to do, and it gives people goals.
You're right.
Grind.
From like a production standpoint, they're just writing like daily missions, weekly missions.
And it can't be terribly hard to code either. To just throw that in there, like you know what I mean? It had issue. It did have issues.
Yeah,
it did have, which was funny.
Yeah, they did have issues like sometimes tracking the stats and with achievements, but that stuff seems to be pretty much figured out, the achievement tracking and stuff for the most part now. It took them a long time, but
yeah, I think they've gotten that stuff hammered out now, but I think it's worth the $10. I don't think that, it would be awesome. Like you got the pan right with the target. I think it'd be cool if you could get like a good skin too at the end. Like it's, they give you something at least. But that's cool. Like, it's definitely something to go for. I hope they don't make those things like the pan with the target as much as I want one. I hope they don't make them available unless it's like you do the, maybe like it'll be seasonally, or like you can choose between different things at the event pass. Like if you finish it, you can get the pan, you can get the skin, or just like they throw it out, every now and then.
You mean to just keep it exclusive and stuff like that, or kind of like this item's more rare or something like that?
Yeah, like you get a token to get like a rare item.
Yeah, I like that too. I like when there's stuff like you earned. You're like, oh, I did this. I miss like the old school days of Call of Duty when you would get like 100 headshots with a weird weapon and earn something like random, really like a random calling card that you could only get that way. Like I miss that kind of stuff, because then if you saw somebody with it, like if they did that, like, oh, this person must have got 100 kills with a frying pan and he now has this really crazy skin for it.
Yeah, like a gold frying pan.
Yeah, which I guess they still do in Call of Duty with the weapon skins, but they don't do that with like missions and stuff like that.
It's definitely not the same for Call of Duty anymore. Like you remember we'd all like have diamond, like to be diamond guns, and I guess they still have it, but I don't know, maybe it's just not the same to me, but it is in the game. But
yeah, no, they just took it too far where there's like 10,000 variations of like every single camo, when like before it was just like cool if you had gold or diamond. Now there's like glowing ones, the ones on fire, like skull, like there's neon. There's so many now that it's like they don't have any value because you don't even know what you're looking at.
Yeah, I used to like just having like the red or blue tiger or whatever they were.
Yeah, that was fun. Cool. Sometimes that stuff simple is almost better,
Yeah, it just showed what you had. Now I'm like, well, how does he have that color? Like, what is that?
Yeah. I guess it is. I guess, I don't know. Maybe more is better. Maybe we're just being old farts, because people love that stuff. Like you said. People
I guess. Yeah, I just don't know if they paid for it or earned it. You know what I mean?
That's true too. It's really hard to tell if people earned it. And it's funny, in Call of Duty, I mean, I haven't played it recently, but I never changed any of my skins. I changed like my rocket launcher because it looked cool, but like I never, all my people look the same except for my one character that I got the pre-order bonus for, the undead one. They all look default. Like I never changed any of that stuff.
Yeah, I never even did that. Then I got the pre-order. I don't know. I'm dumb.
Yeah, but everybody loves it. Fortnite's big on that. Like people change their outfits and their parachute all the time. And I always get compliments on that parachute that I paid for, the pumpkin one. I mean, it does look cool, but it wasn't worth $5. I know that.
No. And you only see him for 10 seconds. Dude.
I know.
It's just funny. I mean, outside the thing with Fortnite, they don't charge you any money. They just like
they
skins. And I'm just like, how?
They do
like,
charge you. They charge you the event pass.
The event pass, yeah.
They charge you for the battle pass. But the thing is if you do well enough, you get the next one for free. So, like, a lot of people do that. At least to my understanding.
Seasons, right?
Yeah, it's 60-day season. So you pay, and that's the thing. It's $10 for 60 days when PUBG is $10 for 1 month.
Yeah. See, they should just do the same thing with that. Or 90 days even. Make it $15 for 90 days. And then that'd be a good way to kick off like their tournaments if they want to do it that way.
Yeah, and they get quarterly payments. Yeah, I like that. Either or, 10 for 60, 15 for 90, whatever it is. Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, I think it's fair. You know, make it a little bit longer and keep people playing a little bit more instead of waiting for the next one. Because like you guys finished it like it was a month and then they haven't come out with one for a month, right? Like 2 months. So
yeah, I don't think they were really ready for like what to do next, and they're trying to wait for that winter map.
They probably messed up with the custom games and stuff like that. There's just a lot of headaches in the fall for them, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can talk about the custom games. I think the last time we did the podcast, custom games weren't out, right?
No, 100% not out. Because those were fun playing in the club. I think that was really fun. Like everyone that was in the club, that was funny. Yeah,
I'll link that down in the description box on YouTube. If you guys are listening on a different platform, we have an Xbox club, just BLiTz5 and friends. You can send me a message at BLiTz5 on Xbox or somewhere, and I'll invite you to it if you guys want to play. We have like 75 people in it now, which is fun. So we had some custom games going. And we didn't like formally announce any of them, and we got a decent showing in a couple of them. But honestly, like the custom games need some work before we do like a really big like event of custom games. You know what I mean? Because there's really there's no options for how to tweak anything.
Yeah, I remember you were trying to change the number of people, and it would go up by like the weirdest integer.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Why can't you just make it 45 or 46? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So what Andrew's talking about is like when you're changing the number of people that are in the game. Say you have a squad of 4, and it was at 40 total players. So you're saying 40 total players, squads of 4. If you want to move it up to 44, it would just skip to 45, and then it would go to like 47, and then 49, and then 32 or 52, whatever. Like it wasn't going in like even numbers at all, or not even by 1. It didn't make any sense.
It was no multiple of any number.
Yeah, it was like
it was like giving you prime numbers.
It was so weird.
It's like all prime numbers. Yeah. It was like 43, 47. I was like, what? Who came up with this number system?
Yeah,
it was gonna tweet Brendan Green. Do you not know multiples?
Yeah, it was so weird. Make it by 1 or 2 or something. But even that doesn't make sense. Just make it by 1, because what if you want to do squads of 3 or 5 or something? So
you make it squads of 3. Like what? Oh,
yeah,
dude, it made no sense.
Yeah, that was weird. And you can't change the weapons you spawn with. You can't make the circle faster. So like if you don't have a lot of people in your custom game, it's going to be a really long game. There's just a lot of things you can't tweak right now.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure they did it on purpose. They're just like,
let's get it out. We promised it. Yeah, we promised it. Let's get it out.
Yeah. Which is fine. I get it. I mean, it was fun. I think like if it gets more and we get used to it, like I thought it was so funny to play with people in the stream, and I think it's good because like playing in there, like I mean people will say like in your stream like I have no one to play with, but like I played with Spooky and I played with Crowbar Jones, and then like the next night I played Call of Duty Blackout with Crowbar Jones, so shout out to Crowbar Jones.
Oh nice. Yeah.
And then we played PUBG, you know what I mean? Like
it's a good way to meet people. Yeah, we all split off into our own parties, so we played squads of 4. And I got in a party with like Nil Waffle, who's SVGT in the club. Shout out to him. And you got in with Crowbar Jones. It's really fun. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a good way to like play with other people. Yeah, because then the next night I was like home, no one was around, and I played with Crowbar Jones, so it worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you get to switch teams, and I think like, you know, once it gets better and like we figure out how to use Discord and stuff like that a little bit more, like it'll be easier to chat with everybody and figure out teams. But it was definitely fun to just try out and jump in with all these people that you see in the chat, and like you just see them all online. It was fun.
Yeah,
like
yeah, for sure.
And funny.
And I think if we planned it, we could get a lot of people on, because like I said, now there's almost 75 people in the club. I'm sure we'll hit like 100 soon too. And some days there's only like 5 or 10 people on, you know. So like that was just bad timing, I feel like. So hopefully we could just plan it out.
Yeah, kind of definitely some last minute games though, you know what I mean? But it was fun for sure.
Yeah. And what's cool is what we were doing is, if you guys are interested in doing it yourself, is you can make it private and then you can open it and random people join, but people won't join if it's not even close to being full. That's the only issue. So we noticed that we had to make the game size like small, like 30, 40, or 50 people, because if you did 100 and there's only 5 people sitting in the lobby, nobody else is going to join because you're not even close to starting. And you can't start it with a random amount of players. You have to have like, we don't know what the number is. It might be half or something like that, but you need to have like a majority of the party filled to start it. So that was annoying.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That is kind of funny though. I guess they'll figure it out though. I mean, like, I guess, and also people probably weren't really looking for custom games that much, but
yeah, it's not like a huge thing, you know. I don't know. Maybe it will eventually be popular, but I think people are still probably, they want to earn BP and do the missions and stuff like that. So it's probably more popular just to do the regular version of the game. But either way, it's just nice to have it, and more content the better, really, for PUBG right now. So that's good.
No, 100%. I think it was a good move on their part just to get it out, because it's definitely fun. And it's you know, it's not like Halo Master Chief that 6 years later they're coming out with LAN support.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's like, thanks guys.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you have anything else for PUBG, but we also have like the winter map coming, which they mentioned it in the official post that it's coming really soon, but they didn't mention it. They said with the release of PUBG on PS4, which is almost like a tongue twister if you say that the wrong way, it's just coming with the 3 maps, ranked play. Oh, that's another thing we can talk about. So they mentioned that PS4 is launching with ranked play. So I knew it was coming to PUBG on Xbox soon, but because they said it's launching on December 7th on PS4, then it has to be coming out on Xbox before then. You just have to imagine, or at least by December 7th. So that's going to be interesting. And I guess there's not that much information on Snow, but I think the ranked mode is going to be really, really cool. I think that's a great idea.
I would certainly hope it comes out before or the same day as PS4.
Yeah, same.
For Brendan Green's well-being. I mean, it just would be such a kick in the chest.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, come on. But yeah, that it definitely is something good. Like, it definitely makes the whole point of like the just randomness in Battle Royale and like the simplicity a little bit more complicated. Like, gives it some complications, but I think like it makes it worth staying alive, like to get more ranked, you know what I mean, to get a little bit further, like, you know what I mean, like when we're just usually one person left and we're like, man, I'm not gonna take this seriously because there's only just 20 people left, you know what I mean, like
yeah.
I think it will make you kind of play a little bit better.
Like there's sometimes when you're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna like go for gold and do something crazy here, but you'll be playing really seriously. The strategy will definitely like increase a lot more.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
think it'll start bringing out, and then in the end they could start like doing, you know, ranked matchmaking games and stuff like that. If that's like their goal is to be like, hey, like how do we create like a really good PUBG, you know?
Yeah, I think that's where they're gonna go, where you could do like a regular match and a ranked match after a while, and that to me is really needed in the game, because like there's sometimes when you just want to play like a more casual experience, or play with, you know, I play with a lot of people I don't know from the stream. So it would be really nice to have a public area. And then if me, you, and Day and Box of Ducks want to play a ranked match together or whatever, that we can do that together, because we play together pretty often and play try hard, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing. Like, because I think if PUBG wants to be, you know, like Fortnite is like professional. There's professional teams, and I think PUBG should have professional teams.
I think there is on PC. There are professional teams.
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah,
but on Xbox they could do the same thing for Xbox.
They could.
Would be really cool.
Yeah, they could, and I think they could open it up to make it more, you know, bigger. Because like I don't think the ranking system is just, it's gonna be based on placement, kills, like all this stuff, which is great, because I don't think Battle Royale should just be placed like solely on just like if you came in first or not. You know what I mean? Because you can't do that. You need to have like, I think, you know, a best of 5 type situation, like you get points on like kills and all that stuff, but that's way more of a different conversation. But I think like the ranked is definitely going in the right way to make it like a more openly accepted you know, competitive game.
Yeah, and PUBG has a pretty I mean, Thomas, I mean, pretty big, like ranked. I mean, professional circuit or competitive circuit, but I unfortunately haven't followed it. So anybody listening, sorry if you guys are into it. I really don't know anything about the professional PUBG league. So I should probably look that up and get a little bit more involved because I do like PUBG so much. But at this time, I really don't know much about it. I just know I know they throw smokes every time they see each other. That's all I hear is that as soon as they see enemies, they throw smokes everywhere.
Yeah, and they don't haven't given me a call to join one of their teams. So that's probably why
yeah, and honestly, you can't. There couldn't be a competitive team on Xbox because even with the One X, if you throw a smoke grenade, like the game just goes down. It just crashes. It doesn't crash, but it definitely gets slower still to this day, at least for me.
Yeah,
and I'm on SSD Xbox One. It definitely slows down the frame rates for sure.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an issue. They don't imagine them like streaming an Xbox
competitive game. They're throwing 10 smokes down. Are you kidding me?
I think Fortnite's on PC too. I think they all play on PC, man.
Yeah, I think. Unfortunately, I think the competitive league's all on PC.
I think that's just the way they got to play, just because it's way faster. You know what I mean? You've got a controller.
I know, but it'd be nice if they did an Xbox league too, man. Come on, why not have two leagues?
Oh no, I'm not saying
the men's league, the women's league,
the Zer league.
Yeah,
I just don't think it would be. I just think it'd be so horrible. Like someone throws a smoke grenade and their game crashes. And they're just live streaming this game. It's like, oh, what a fail, dude.
Or they're trying to set it up and they're like, oh, actually, we didn't build in the option to do this yet, so we actually can't even host this. We're gonna have to cancel this. Sorry, everyone go home.
Yeah, we're actually 3 months behind on this one, so but yet here we are, still playing the damn thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a really fun game. So, and the winter map is going to be cool. I watched a video today of people. This came out a long time ago. I just never watched it because I thought it was just whatever. But it actually was kind of interesting. People data mine. People are crazy, dude. You know, they data mine everything, and they every time an update comes out, they like find like a leak or whatever. Just let them be and let them update the game. But it's always going to happen. So they data mined the information for the snow map, and then somebody, I guess, programmed it and recreated a rough version of what the map is going to look like. So you can watch YouTube videos of people like going through this like half constructed map of the snow map, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, there's like a castle. There's a lot of the water on the north side of the map is like frozen, so you can just walk over it, and there's some like patches of water. There's a lot of kind of mountainous areas. There's like some missile silos. I saw a cement facility, and it was kind of cool. Didn't seem like there was a lot of small areas of cover, kind of like Miramar. But again, this is like a poorly reconstructed version of the map. So I'm hoping that like there's something like Sanhok, like maybe like snow piles or I don't know, something like big rocks around the map that kind of give you more cover, because I definitely do like that a lot in Sanhok, because it's annoying playing Miramar now when you're in a giant field and there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, there's a hay bale.
Yeah, small hay bale. So that'll be interesting, and the size is going to be, mid-size. So I think it's going to be a really good addition. I think it's going to be the best map in the game. I'm going to call it, because Sanhok sometimes is a little too crazy. There's too many bushes sometimes, like too many. And I think this game will be like right in the middle, and then there's going to be, you know what they said with this? I haven't even made a video about this yet, is that, well, I talked about this a while ago. This is where C4 is going to come in. They're going to add riot shields. They're going to add night mode and night vision. So, I mean, this is like, I mean, I don't even know if I should have brought this up, because this could be like a whole podcast. That's going to be a lot of stuff. And like a riot shield, that's going to be huge if they add that into the game. Huge. Yeah. It's going to change the game a lot.
Yeah, that will be massive.
It could be frustrating.
We should save that one for next week.
Yeah.
That could be a laundry list of things to go through.
Yeah. We can. Let's just stop. We'll tease that for next week. Yeah.
Ooh, snow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. And you have anything else for PUBG?
No, I think that's it on the PUBG front for now. I mean, next week will be interesting, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's for sure. And then you want to talk a little Black Ops?
Yeah, I think we should definitely go into Black Ops. I guess we could just start real quick with the multiplayer for Black Ops, and it's just they released Nuketown. Go figure, they do that every time they have a Black Ops game. But I mean, like, why don't they just release it with the game? Like, they have older maps on the game. Like, they did Firing Range and all those other ones. Like, why did they make Nuketown so special?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to stagnate the hype. They're trying to like trickle out content. So I think they wanted to have like a headline in November. It's been a month since the game came out. So
yeah, And I think that they should have just waited and had the game come out in November, to be honest, at this point. But
You think so? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see how it helped them.
Yeah.
In October. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe their sales will be really good in November now, and maybe Nuketown just draws people. But I think it's just like, yeah, they're dragging out stuff. I don't know. Was it free? Was it a free upgrade?
It's a free upgrade, but I heard that it's actually on PlayStation a week early, so us Xbox players can't even play it right now.
Yeah, whatever.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they have the exclusive rights, so they're gonna always get that stuff.
I just thought for a free map though, like come on, just put it.
I know,
and one such as Nuketown that's like iconic in Call of Duty history, like just put it in the game for everybody.
No, I know. We could just go back to Black Ops 2 and play Nuketown if we really wanted to.
Yeah. I actually haven't watched any videos on it, but I heard that this one is a lot different from the other ones because they basically would just reskin the other ones, and I heard this one is kind of like a rebuild, so it's tweaked a little bit actually for the first time. So that will be interesting to see. I mean, I'll definitely hop on and play it. I love Nuketown. It's a great map.
Yeah, it's a fun map. I just, to sell it as a standalone thing, it's like, remember that like 24-hour Nuketown?
Yeah.
And after you played it for like an hour, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to freaking kill myself.
Yeah, they did that with
dude.
they did that with Shipment in Call of Duty World War II. I think you stopped playing it by then, but they had added Shipment, which is even the smallest Call of Duty map of all time, and they did a 24-hour playlist on that. It was crazy.
No, I remember playing that. It was just I remember. Yeah, we played that one a couple times. It was just getting bombarded.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you just want to like rack up kills and go crazy, but it does get a little like mind numbing after a little while.
You can't play it for like over an hour.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy, but you do rack up a lot of points, which is nice.
Yeah, you get a lot of points. If you find like the right spot, you could just like you get those alleyways and you just light people up as they're spawning.
Yeah, I was playing with Steve, and me and him were getting like over 100 kills sometimes on Shipment. It was out of control.
Yeah, I was getting like 45 because I stink, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, yeah, that's all I really had to go over about Nuketown. I mean, that's or Black Ops for multiplayer. I don't think there's been anything else on that.
No, just some updates across the game, and one of the updates was which we talked about before we started the podcast was that they removed the 9-bang from Blackout. There was a lot of people criticizing that because of how powerful it is, and to me, I kind of just accepted it that the items are just really strong in Call of Duty Blackout, at least on the Black. Yeah. I mean, they're strong even in multiplayer, but in Blackout they're even stronger. But I kind of agree with them removing it because, or they should make it at least rare. Some people are saying, they should put it in a crate item or make it a crate item, and that would be pretty powerful. Then there's more of an incentive to go for the crates, which I think kind of works. That seems to be the answer to most things that are overpowered. You just move them to the crate, kind of like the level 3 helmet in PUBG and the AWM and stuff. But either way, it's just the fact that they even just put in the 9-bang into the game, where it's a flash that stuns you 3 times and it goes off. I mean, it goes off 9 times. It's really insane.
It's you can be flashbanged for 10 minutes, and you can't do anything when you're flashbanged. You can't even lay down.
Yeah, and the way they changed the system, this year, you really can't defend yourself the same as in another game. So it's definitely a weird item. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean. If they made it just more sparse, I feel like whenever I played Blackout, I had a 9-bang. Like,
Same.
You know what I mean? I don't think I always used it, and I'm sure that like the people that are really serious to play it like abused it. They were like 9-bang, 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 and they were good at it.
No, I think what you do is you would wait till the final circle, and if there's 1 or 2 people left, you just keep throwing 9-bangs out, and you pretty much have secured the victory if you saved up a couple 9-bangs. That's what really good players were doing, and I was doing the same thing. So
that makes sense because you can't move. You get 9-bang, you get hit markers, and you're like, okay, there's someone right there, and they're super flashed right now.
And one of the last times I played, I was actually really frustrated because me and this guy both threw 9-bangs at each other, and I guess for some reason, maybe the way he was looking or something, mine didn't hit him because he was still moving, and I was completely stuck like doing the thing where my hand is up in the air and I couldn't do anything, and he killed me. And I was like watching it back on stream, and we were all watching it together, and I was like, what exactly happened right there, and why did it come down to like a 50-50, like I got 9-banged more than he did, and then he killed me? Like that was really like lame. I don't know, but I guess it could happen with a regular flash grenade too, but it just seemed worse because it was the 9-bang.
It's just so long. I mean, if it was just a regular flash, it's like, hey, 10 seconds at most. The 9-bang's like bang 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 bang, and you're like, oh my God. Then you're flashed for a good couple, like 30 seconds. I think, but like it's kind of funny they take out the 9-bang, but they left the cluster grenade. But the cluster grenade, I feel like you didn't do. it wasn't as powerful as a 9-bang, which is really kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah. I think in that game, it's really the cluster grenade is definitely strong, but the 9-bang just for the last circle potential it was really crazy for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like you definitely found probably more 9-bangs than you did of the cluster grenade.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't think the cluster grenade had maybe the I don't know. Maybe it did have the area that's spread to, but the 9-bang, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to put in there. I feel like the specialist abilities from the multiplayer, they probably could have just left out of Blackout.
I kind of agree with you, man. I kind of agree with you.
I mean, that's only the only two, I guess. The other ones aren't really there. It's not like you're getting a dog.
Yeah.
But, but that's also the weird thing with the whole, Blackout. I think they just didn't make it their own enough. They did, but they didn't. They made the map black, Call of Duty, but I think that they left aspects out that like they didn't think of things, or they did think of things and just didn't do them, that they could have really made like Blackout a Call of Duty game. And I think it's just more like hey, this is a mix of PUBG and Fortnite, and here's the guns from the game and some zombies, and here you go.
Yeah.
And I get it. I think that they could have done some cool things. They still can do cool things, and I shouldn't rule that out 100% because I think that they are doing a lot of updates, but I think
no, I agree with you, man. I think
sure.
unfortunately for Call of Duty, they're just so corporate and so big that like Fortnite is smaller studio. They're having so much fun updating that game, and Call of Duty followed people, and they're like, I'm sure they have a hard time. They have big corporate meetings making all these decisions, and they can't just have fun and make like a fun Call of Duty battle royale. Like they had to copy people, and they, it's you can kind of tell that's how it happened, because they're not the leader. They're following the genre, so they're kind of behind now.
Yeah, the larger companies typically have issues, innovating like that because they just aren't as not liquid isn't the word. They're just not as dynamic as
that's a good word.
A Riot Games,
yeah,
or a pub, the Blue Hole. So, I mean, they don't have. And the thing is, like, one guy can be sitting in Activision right now and have the best idea for a game, but no one's gonna really listen to him.
Yeah, because there's so many.
That's
people.
the hard part.
Yeah, bureaucracy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's definitely true. And someone interesting. I forget who it is, so I'm sorry if you guys are listening. Someone today in the stream or yesterday said that they actually like really don't like the map for Blackout, and I was kind of thinking about it, and it's not that I don't really like it, but I kind of agree after I was thinking about it. I'm like, that map really isn't that exciting. Like if you tell me to land anywhere in PUBG, I'm like fine. I'm like, oh cool, I'll land there. But like in that map, I'm like, I don't want to go there, and like going here, and I'm like, I don't really want to go there. There's so many and there's so many open spaces that are like not really.
Yeah, I think the problem is that you can jump anywhere on that map.
Yeah.
Maybe in Fortnite you could do it too, but it takes a long time. But in PUBG, I mean Blackout, you jump out of the thing, you go straight down for a little bit, and then you flatten out, and you're going across the entire map. So you never land in a place that you can be comfortable.
Yeah,
I feel like it makes it kind of a weird issue. Yeah, I feel that though. That's a good point. Like I never feel like I could just.
Yeah, I don't know. I never feel like,
married
this
to
is
a
like my
place.
favorite spot to go. Like I like construction, but it's always hot drop. I hate going to firing range. I don't like estates because you're so far up.
Yeah.
The right side of the map below Asylum, like the turbine in the other area, just feel like you're in a giant warehouse and you can get shot from anywhere. No one goes to the middle, like the industrial tower in the middle. I forget what it's called. Like sometimes I like to go there, but nobody goes there.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so many areas that like nobody goes to. And then Asylum is, or not Asylum, the Array is like weird. I feel like people never want to land there with me. So when I bring it up,
Oh yeah.
like there's so many
I feel
places like people are like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, and then you have Nuketown, which is just so weird too.
Yeah, I mean, construction is really cool. That's my favorite place. I think that's a very unique battle royale place because of the elevator and how big it is, and you can jump off it. I think that's one of the most unique locations in battle royale. But other than that, I'm kind of whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that construction. Also we got that win there too. We were up there the whole time.
Yeah.
So dick. But it was definitely fun. It's definitely the better of the spots just because it's kind of central location and everything.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, have you been playing Call of Duty at all? Not really.
So I played Blackout with Crowbar Jones on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
I guess it was
Over the weekend.
and like we played, like he was online, he was like, he posted something looking for people to play, so I joined him, and I was just like, hey, you played it for a while because you wanted to play it, and I think like someone else jumped on, and they were like, hey, you guys want to play PUBG? And we were like, yeah, you know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think it's better to play that anyway. Like, we just kept getting fried. I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable playing Blackout. I was like, you know, maybe because I was just new with Crowbar Jones and like we don't know how each other plays, but like we were playing the game and I was just like, dude, like I just I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it was a weird, just wasn't sitting right. But that was the last time I played it, and we did okay, but we didn't do well either. And I just kind of attributed to us not playing it enough, him being new at it, or you know, not playing enough as well. And I don't know. I just
yeah,
like,
I think it just plays pretty differently from. I mean, me and you you got on it before me, but me and you were kind of slow to pick up like the battle royale genre. I mean, you and Box of Ducks convinced me to get PUBG, but I feel like it's taken a while to get used to how realistic PUBG is. No auto aim, the battle royale play style, all this stuff. Switch over from regular multiplayer, playing aggressive. There's a lot of things you need to learn. The controls. When you're playing a battle royale game, there's so much long distance shooting that you're doing. So you have to get used to long range shooting, different weapons, all this stuff. And we finally gotten to a point in PUBG where we're all like decent. We get the game now, and it's hard like just occasionally switching over to Call of Duty, and people are getting pretty good at Blackout now. And it's hard just getting into a game that people are like so used to, and they know all of the perks and items now. And I'm still kind of rusty with all that stuff because I don't play that often. So I definitely agree with you there. I felt the same way the last time I played. I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, which is lame, but it's kind of a bummer.
It's a weird feeling. It's just hard to get used to. And I got some kills in it. I had some kills. I got like took out like a couple of squads. Yeah. You know, like I wiped the duo out and when we were playing, but I just was like, yeah, I just was like, this just isn't, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I have no like actual feeling to, you know, I can't put it into words, I guess, right now. You know, PUBG, just as soon as we played PUBG though, we hopped on PUBG and we were on until like, you know, 1 a.m. I think Day got on too. We were like playing all night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's addictive.
Yeah, like and we don't even play good games. It's like not necessarily that we were doing better. It's just more comfortable, I guess. You know, maybe I'm just more comfortable with it. That's really is all it is.
Yeah, I think we're just more comfortable with PUBG at this moment. So
yeah. And I mean, hopefully like, you know, like they keep adding the content and everything to it, so that way like I don't have a reason to switch to like a Blackout. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna happen, you know, but I don't know what Call of Duty is gonna do next year, so you know, I think that's also like an underlying thing too. I'm just like, I'm just invested in this. I know this is probably not going anywhere for a long time, so
yeah, for sure. I hear you, man. I'm like, what am I going to do? Level up all my guns and Black Ops 4 multiplayer again just for the next Call of Duty game to come out? They got to get off that system somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it. We talked about it in the last video, so I don't want to repeat ourselves, but yeah, they got to like figure out how to get off that system.
Yeah, it's sadly just a huge problem. And I think they put themselves in that weird situation because they have 3 studios, you know what I mean? Yeah. They just are like, oh, we're gonna do this really awesomely, and then they're like, ooh, like now we have all this stuff, and you know, but I guess they could figure it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So anything else interesting going on?
Not much. That was really, I think we had all. I know we kind of were late this week on getting to this, and
well, not really. I just got back.
Crazy weekend.
Yeah, I just got back from my trip.
Crazy weekend.
And today's Tuesday, so it's not bad. I think that's
fine.
No,
we're
man.
being. Oh, I just hit my mic. Yeah, I think we're trying to be really consistent. So I mean, I think you know, everyone, if they're listening, should join the club. Get ready for some custom games for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully I'll go through and edit this. Hopefully it sounds okay. In the beginning, sorry guys, my throat was like a little messed up, but it seems like it kind of, once you talk a little bit, it works its way out. But sometimes that happens to me, man. I don't know. I was having some Gatorade before, so it kind of was making my throat a little sticky. So I apologize for any audio stuff in the beginning.
Ooh, sticky.
And yeah, so this is going to be on YouTube again and also on Podbean. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we have to do a couple more of these before we get on iTunes. We don't have to, but I think it just makes more sense to upload to that eventually in one platform. And we'll have to pay. I found I'm using Podbean over SoundCloud because eventually to go on iTunes, you have to pay to have this hosted. I'm saying this to you and also just to people listening because I was kind of doing some research on this. So SoundCloud's like $15 a month to pay to host, and Podbean is like $7. So I'm like, that's pretty cheap. I'll just use Podbean. And I've heard people do that before. So we'll put it on Podbean. I don't think many people listen to it on there. I think iTunes is the way to go, and then also have the YouTube version. And then if we feel like getting real fancy, we could always add some audio to this. And I know Tom wants to get on the podcast. Stephen Railey said he wanted to get on. So I think we should do that. We should have people on the podcast. I think it would be really fun to get people in.
I think so.
Right now,
we'll get bored of each other real quick after a while.
Yeah, and right now Andrew and I are just doing Skype. So it's easy if you guys have Skype or whatever we want to do. We can just get into a call together and talk and go from there. So I think it'll be kind of fun. And
no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll keep pushing forward. And just for everybody else that follows the page, as of right now, like I said, today is November 13th, 2018. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, and the stream is doing well. And thanks for all the support. And obviously, Andrew coming into the stream all the time and talking to everybody. So we're moving forward ahead. And yes, I think this is a good episode number 2 of the podcast.
I agree. Before we close it out, though, man, there's one thing I have to ask is, where is Fire Truck?
Dude,
that was the best. That was a great guy that dropped into the stream. I'm just disappointed he didn't stick around. And
yeah, those are the good. I don't know if you even want to call it a troll, but that's like the stuff that I love, man. He came into the chat just saying wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, and then putting like fire truck emojis, and then people were putting fires. And then he was putting water emojis, and then he donated $5, and then everyone put fire emojis, and then he was like spraying water out, and then he left.
And he's gone. Yeah. So Wee Woo, if you're our fire truck, if you're listening to this, come back to the stream, man. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you, and thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support, subscribing, and providing a lot of laughs in the chat. And I guess with this, we'll go play some PUBG. Me and Sypher are about to get on right now. And game it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You down?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm ready. I already have my Xbox on.
All right, very nice. I'll do the same thing. So, all right, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, have a good one, guys.